it's an extremely normal movie.
Simple
I don't know what you guys are
tea
talking
and
about.
I'll just say that I don't know about you guys, but when we got to the end and they drawed and quartered that doll,
Mhm.
the emotional reaction I had to that scene was earned.
Nice.
Isn't that something?
There's like this is a weirdly like it's like I kind of like kept going. This is sort of like when I saw Eraserhead for the first time.
Yeah.
Where you're watching, it's very slowly paced, but I was never bored. It's hypnotic as fuck.
Yeah, it is.
And
with the music and such.
There's so many like
The music.
you're watching the music, but you're
And
also
the
watching
pose.
like just there's no dialogue.
No.
There's like I don't know.
I'm sorry, caw is
I
dialogue.
start these movies late, and sometimes I have to have subtitles on. There was no subtitles needed.
It's like a 70-minute ASMR video.
Endless.
There's a subtitle file with it. I looked at it. And it's all just footsteps and wind blowing. And that's all it is.
There's a lot of like.
Not because I didn't enjoy it, but I did nod out in the middle. So I think it was during the rat card game or the mouse card game.
Me too, John, but I'll get that in a sec.
I'm like, okay, 13 years, wow. But then you're like, man, there's like the scene where they're doing like the little game little kids play with yarn.
Yeah.
Think about how good that animation
like
is.
6 months.
I know, just like we're gonna do the Cat's Cradle
Cat's Cradle,
and it's like with
trading it back
puppets.
and forth.
Yes,
it's completely off the hook.
Anyway,
I watched this film like John did. I kind of snoozed during the middle because it got a little bit hypnotic because the ticking of the clock and the
oh good God, it's like engineered to make you pass out.
So I did, but then again, I went to bed and thought about it, and I watched it again last night because this is just like Begotten. I watched that twice. I watched
very much like
I was going to bring up Begotten.
Yeah, I watched Winnipeg twice. This film, first you have to get through the shock of seeing this thing, then you have to sit there and sit a second time and kind of feel the emotional intent of the thing. And I'm telling you, this film has all the feels.
Yeah,
like it's amazing. The scene that Chris just talked about near the end where they pull the doll apart, right after the one mouse, I guess he's a mouse, who is holding on to the head, he is bereft.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
It's not just the head; it's the head and the torso.
Head and the torso. He's bereft. He's lost, and so
yes,
it's like how you can make this sympathetic thing. They give him the things, and he get how his heart is broken. Is how they show it with
both
dolls.
directions.
I know, in both directions. It's amazing.
I think this stuff's endlessly fascinating because it makes you realize the power of film in a different way.
Right.
Because you're empathizing with these little puppets. It's kind of the.
They're not puppets.
Okay, stop motion. What are they called then?
I would say little crow guys and mice.
Figures.
Yeah, little crow guys and mice, I would say.
But I mean, it's kind of the way
It's the creatures that live under the oak and the aristocratic mice, technically. If you want to talk.
We were calling them the fox crows or the fox birds.
Fox crows, yeah. With the ears.
Yeah.
Those are this is a class. I mean, I don't know. We debate the theme. So you've got the
I don't think we can debate the theme.
I don't know.
It is class.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
and then
the
fox crows build the fox crows build the
or for money, they put some coins down.
The mice steal it. They try to go to get it. They get lost. Then they bump into that weird frog thing that gives them a bunch of drugs. And
the frog shaman. Frog shaman's the best character in the movie.
No, mind you, they didn't steal it. The thing is that the
Froggy's going to court and
the fox. What did you call them? Fox something. Fox crows. They make the doll, and it's so. I guess they fall in love with it themselves.
They refuse the money
for it. They get the money back. Says no, we're going to keep it. Yeah. And so that's where the conflict starts.
Right.
And then the mice come and get it, and then they got to go right. And then
with the turtle, my God, that
weird. Well, and then
and when they set out to go get it, then it's like now the epic quest has begun.
Yes, it is. It's Campbellian, isn't it?
This is the story.
And then they fail. They get.
If I could find my cloak, I would have worn my cloak.
Oh yeah, and you should have, man.
In the meantime,
I don't know where it went.
The mice are up to some weird shit in their neck of the woods.
They're getting drunk on the blood tea.
Get drunk on the blood tea.
And they have
Boy, did they play a lot of cards.
And their pet's crow skull.
Oh, many cards.
Yeah, the crow skull.
Play cards when the cards don't have faces.
Yes. I know. And it's weird because they're playing cards with nothing on them, right?
That's what Jim just said.
Then It does.
It did. It does.
Yeah.
Now, what does that mean? I wonder.
With the symbols that get written on them in blood.
Yeah, the heart and the transformed. I don't know.
Right.
It was.
I mean, it is dream logic.
Yeah.
All I know is when they start pulling her apart at the end, I was like, oh, well, like, wait, what's happening right now? What is happening right now?
What's happening inside me?
It's like this is, I mean, it's like South Park, which did like the most rudimentary cell animation they could get away with because it was the cheapest way possible. This lady, like, the mouths don't move.
No.
The spider is just a painted face.
The mouths do move, though.
To coax emotion out of these things.
Oh, the beaks move, right?
Yeah, they do.
The beaks move.
I call her Emily Dickinson Spider because she looks like Emily Dickinson.
Well, look like
when she fights them, when she starts fighting them,
that was pretty
cool.
cool.
Also, some real lesbian undertones in that.
Yeah.
Here and there, here and there. I think this movie was, again, it might have been class, but it was actually more about love, about falling in love with things.
Well,
and what you do to get that love back. That one mouse goes nuts and he ties the mannequin to himself and start with the blue feathers and starts.
Trying to recreate.
Yeah, that's like
bird,
that was like something out of a horror movie. It was like
there's a lot of things that like out of a horror movie. Starting that fucking.
God!
This is a horror movie.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. It is a horror movie.
And yet, especially in the first act, we see sort of this pastoral, very nice life that the crow foxes have.
It's like the hobbits in the beginning.
Yeah, they're the hobbits in the Shire, right?
Yeah, they do Cat's Cradle and they do the ball thing and they
it's really nice.
It is. It's really.
I was kind of relieved because I think stop motion, especially now we're associating with Tool videos and stuff like that. We think it's going to be grim and dark and weird. It is
grim and dark and weird.
It is all that, but it's also like it's got lightness and it's got, like you said, it's a love story.
Yeah,
it's got all these positive emotions in it.
Real fucked up love story.
Yeah, it is a fucked up love story. I give you that.
All love stories are.
Yeah, they are. The good ones. That's that fairy tale.
All the good ones,
right?
Yeah,
it's like this is like the fairy tales you don't read to kids kind of thing.
It was never not creepy.
Christiane Cegavske, the woman who made this, and again, we need to point out she did everything except the music. This is her thing from top to bottom.
13 years.
13 years. And if you should all go follow her on Instagram because she's still making the Seed in the Sand, and it's gonna come out eventually.
She's making another movie.
That's great.
And did an art installation for this in Oakland 2 years ago, and that's also on her Instagram, and you should go look that up because that's actually fucking creepier than this is.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Watching the credits of this, I mean, you see a strong Bay Area connection here. I knew after the name Rock Ross, who does titles.
Yeah, Rock Ross. I knew that
half
name.
the people that do the music on this, it's like, oh, Miles Boyson. It's like I saw these names go by that I know.
She said that this is about destroying the things that you love. And like it is. Like this is about destroying the things that you love.
Sure.
And whether that's you or it's something external or it's like beauty or whatever. Like
it's a process even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like so. I saw this movie, I don't know. I think I saw it when I was still living in San Francisco, so like 2007
on video
or something like that. I saw it at an art installation.
Oh,
actually. And I was enraptured. Like I was just standing there watching it on this screen on the wall, and just like, this is one of the craziest fucking things I've ever seen in my life. And it just kind of went out of my head after that, and then it came back in about 8 years ago, and I went back and found out that you can just watch it on the internet, and I watched it, and it moves me in a way that so few things can. Like it just reaches in and fucking pulls your heart out at certain points, and not only pulls your heart out and shows it to you
like that shaman frog does.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Like it's like looking
grows
and sews it into a dead body.
Yeah, pretty much. And it doesn't
sews a fucking sews an egg into
Yeah.
the body so that it comes out as this weird broken monster that's also beautiful and amazing. Like
yeah, no, it's pretty neat. And but the thing is, they tried sewing the heart into the body later on, and that nothing happened. He shook his head, like, nope, this isn't gonna work. And that was kind of interesting. But
It was nice to see the Emily Dickinson spider actually agree with something towards the end. She does shake her head up and down.
well, I like the bargaining. That was interesting. Yeah, well, you want a map? No.
Yeah.
Do you want the turtle?
Yeah, yum,
Yes.
right? Oh, that poor turtle. I was
I
worried about
know.
the turtle. Oh.
I love that it's just standing out in front of the house, and it's just like, what if I ate all this grass? Oh.
Yeah, it's obviously eat the grass. That's wait until someone asks me to do something. Exactly. What do you think is significant? In fact, you guys both have the skull flowers. Why were those dead and the one at the fox crows alive?
Because this is where death is. This is where, like, we subvert the things that we love for money, for power,
Oh, it
for
makes sense.
whatever. And then when you go back to the grove where the creatures that live under the oak are, that's where love and community and friendship and all of that exists. So those flowers are alive and thriving and have pain and sorrow. And like, you're allowed to have those emotions there. And when you get to the mice, they don't have any of those emotions anymore, except for that one guy who tied it to himself.
Yeah,
and
he was.
they,
What they call it,
and they try to kill him.
I know. The thing is, no, that got into a big fight. And the thing is, what they call that is it's excessive love is a sin. Like they talk about the 7 deadly sins, and that one mouse had excessive love. He tied thing to him and was like doing that thing, and he eventually became victim to excessive love. And it's this whole thing is examination of love in its various ways. That's one aspect.
And the destructive power of love.
Yeah, exactly. God damn. See, there's a lot to this movie.
Right. Well,
I know. That's why I picked it.
I know.
The emotional stakes of love, which is that once you lose it or fear that you're going to lose it, then that's when bad things start to happen.
Right. But the whimsy was good too. There's lots of fun things to look at this entire thing.
One of my favorite parts is when they get lured into that maze by those fuzzy green pears.
Yeah.
That whole sequence of them getting drawn further and further into the labyrinth, and then they end up in, it's a nice little garden with a fountain. It has a water feature.
But they get captured by those weird leaves,
and
then the leaves try to kill them.
Yeah.
Yes, and then the frog guy shows up and saves them. What a frog movie!
Frog shaman shows up and is just like, "Not today, Satan."
Yeah, pretty much.
It is very much like a story a kid would make up, or that you would make up as you went along to tell a child. It has dream logic to it, and I just love that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's a lot like old-fashioned fairy tales too, or folk tales.
The ones you didn't read to kids,
or the version you only give them, the Disney one.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, no. I'm talking.
This is
real fairies.
This is in Grimm. This is in Grimm, where they're carving their heels off to fit in the glass slipper.
That's right. Or someone gets cursed to dance to death at the end. I forget which one that is. The original version of something. But I couldn't remember.
I'll say I did a summer intern thing with Colossal Pictures back in the 80s, and they did a couple of stop motions that I got to like be an animation assistant on, and just watching this and what she was able to pull off single-handedly, like the animation's actually pretty impressive, especially like I said, all of the things the characters were doing with their hands and fingers.
That's the most impressive part.
I was impressed at sewing.
Yes.
Yeah, that.
Oh yeah, just real logical. Just right there.
It was actually physically happening before your eyes. That was actually things were being sewed up.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
You can tell why this took 13 years.
Yeah.
Well, that's why like
when you see the studios where she was making it, it's like Los Angeles, San Francisco,
yeah,
San
Francisco, 2 places in LA and Ashland, Oregon.
I mean,
yeah.
The sets that I was helping on was like 4, 5, 6 people.
Right.
I couldn't imagine doing this solo.
And what was the running time?
Oh, these were for commercials.
Yeah.
For commercials we were
Like
doing.
a minute or less.
Also,
yeah.
This is 70 minutes long.
This was I don't know if was she any part of The Nightmare Before Christmas, because that was all done in San Francisco.
Well, it's Henry Selick.
Yeah.
They all shot south of Market,
affiliated.
so but yeah, it was just
I'm glad she's making another movie. I'll definitely.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing it now.
She has a Patreon and a Instagram, and she updates both of those things, and she just seems like a nice, normal woman.
We're definitely
Like-
gonna approach her after we're
It's
done.
not going to make it
editing
go
this
any
thing.
quicker.
I would love to hear her input on our input on this thing.
I would like, this is my plea to you, Christian. Please come on our podcast. Like, I want to talk to you about this. This movie changed me in a way twice. The first time I watched it and the second time I watched it, it didn't change me so much this time, because this was more like, I'm going to show the boys this nonsense. But like, I would love to talk to her about this. Like, it's beautiful and frightening and wonderful. Like, it's I once I described space one time to a coworker of mine as beautiful and terrifying and dope, and like, this is that.
Right.
Like, it is beautiful and terrifying and dope. Like, I just, every time I watch this, I feel things in a way that I'm not used to from movies. You know, like, there's a tactile sense, there's a way that you can approach this where it's like, fuck,
Yeah.
oh fuck, fuck.
I think it's
like,
partly because a film like this throws away so many things that you usually get from a film, like dialogue, like human beings, that then you either associate yourself with or associate yourself being different from.
and the one human being is so, like, with the mask, and
That's her, right?
yeah.
And that's
No,
her,
actually, I think it is an actress.
It's
Actually,
a friend of hers,
That was
yeah.
her.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
But
that-
it is her in the sense of, like, for this movie, it is.
She's sort of the creator of it.
But Jim is waiting patiently. Does he have a corner,
He's
Jim?
been
Or
very quiet. He said a few things.
Yeah, no, it reminded me of a lot of things. It sort of Begotten and Nightmare Before Christmas, kind of. There was another film I saw that was, I believe, French. No, it was English, I think. That was done with. It was actually done with puppets.
Mhm.
They're not quite Muppets, but
that sounds really familiar.
about the Marquis de Sade.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, I vaguely remember this. Yeah,
Yeah, like in the
Marquis de
90s
Sade.
sometime.
Hmm.
And it had the same sort of quirky feel to it, It's in the Marquis de Sade, it's during his time in the Bastille before the French Revolution.
Yeah, it was animated. Yes, remember that. I can't remember the name of it right now, but
How did you react emotionally to this? Because everybody seems to be talking about how it's made them feel.
Weirdly
Yeah.
emotional.
At first, I sort of, it took me a while to get into it, but it was, at first it seemed kind of hokey and kind of student filmy. And then after a while, I figured, no, the person who made it is serious, and they're not being ironic or cynical or whatever, and just go with it. And it really did have a quality, a sort of folklorish quality to it.
absolutely.
Like,
Well,
stuff.
I just want to say that one of the things that it's reminded me of stuff we watched recently on here is the discreet charm of the bourgeoisie. Like, it has that very much, like, attitude of, like, fuck these people specifically.
Well, if you don't go the class thing, that's one way of looking at it. It's actually
Or-
pretty accurate.
Goddamn mice.
Or if you watch
The mice
or if you watch iRobot, very much like the fake version of it in iRobot. Like, it has that quality of just being like, we're better than this, actually. Like,
this
I
actually,
also noticed that on her Wikipedia page, or it may have been on her website, she has a bunch of merch too. So if you want to buy something,
oh, I probably could get a T-shirt. I mean, we owe her.
There is a T-shirt. Yeah.
She one of the things she either mentions, or the page either mentions, Schrankmeyer, who is this Czech animator, and I've been like just this close to like choosing one of his flicks.
Oh,
And it also reminds me of his stuff too, and he did like a ton of stuff under the during the communist period, and then he actually made a critique of Stalinism in like 1990. That was
that was just safe enough to do that, basically.
Little
Yeah,
late, little late for that, bro.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
this interesting. Watching this Tad reminded me of Begotten, and you were
Yeah.
able to get in there and interpret the thing, because we're all like, "What is happening?" And you're like, "Oh, no, this is happening." Boom, boom, boom. And I realized you had seen this before Begotten, and I think that you have a connection to non-narrative filmmaking that is enviable. I mean, it's like I think everyone here should allow themselves to kind of like opening ourselves up and kind of like let it wash over you. It's hard. That's why I have to watch it twice, because I'm so used to like traditional narrative. First time I was like, what the hell is this? Second time, okay, I get it.
Right.
So
I was thinking about this actually while watching it. It's not really non-narrative because there is a
Right.
narrative.
There is a
and
It is a
story.
narrative.
it's an unusual, but it's wordless and it's kind of
Wordless.
unusual.
Unconventional
wordless.
narrative.
I wanted to call it a non-representational narrative.
There you go. I like
In
that.
You know, it has all these things standing. It's almost like a allegory.
Yeah.
These things stand for other things.
I don't
and
think it's almost an
nicely
allegory. I
done.
think it is an allegory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's a bit intense. I think part of it is allegorical about maybe about class, but part of it's also just a meditation on emotions, I think.
Yes,
and
both of those things can exist at
it
the
can be
same
both
time.
things. Exactly right. It can be
Yes.
both things. There's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with that.
And
Yeah.
actually,
Because-
there was one live action film that it kind of reminded me of, and maybe it's just because it was a woman director, but the Iranian American
Well, the vampire.
vampire film.
Yeah.
Girl walks
Girl
home.
Walks Home Alone at Night,
Yeah,
which was my film of the year.
That was everyone.
It's
Yes,
our
it
film of
was.
the year, if you recall.
It was our film of the year that year. Yeah, exactly.
I also, one other thing, no one's brought this up. The colors in this movie, especially the reds,
Mhm.
I don't know, were striking.
Well, I think she got lucky because this is all filmed with probably like a Bolex and a 16 millimeter, and
She
just
did a color timer though.
yeah,
Really
they bumped to 35 and probably did all that post stuff, and that looks amazing.
Yeah.
The times where the mice close their eyes and you can't see how red their eyes are for a moment, and then they open them back up and they're as red as they are behind you, like
Yeah.
every time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, and then of course when the one mouse is drawing the faces on the cards,
Mhm.
and it is so brutally red
Yeah.
against that white background, like it's gorgeous.
Oh, I can see.
It reminded me a lot of like early 3-strip Technicolor red, you know,
Yeah.
where like women's mouths with the lipstick just pop out.
Yeah.
Well, mind you, the red shows up in the string and the blood. So I'm thinking that what's her name again?
Christian Cegavske.
Because she probably went to the color time and says,
Cegavske.
push the red as much as you possibly can.
Yeah.
And so
yeah.
that worked. That's the thing. So
Definitely crucial in this film.
it is absolutely
Yeah.
crucial. So weirdly enough, I think we could probably do thumbs at this point.
And I really liked the cellophane, the cellophane
was so
water.
The cellophane water.
Some of the animation tricks were really clever,
pretty
like
cool.
watering things and like, yeah, it's
That
good
was
stuff.
really cool.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Anyway,
I liked it a lot.
Solid
big
slam
thumbs up.
dunk,
It was like
solid.
huge surprise.
Yeah.
Just
Never ever heard of this movie.
no,
Yeah,
tore,
same here.
tore my heart out in a good way. Good
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.